Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition with Philakone Crypto Forecasting Couch. Tonight we have a very special guest. She's got double D titties. I'm just kidding. There's no ladies here tonight. It's just me, Philakone Crypto. So let's give it like 1 minute and then we'll start the stream. So welcome everybody. Today's going to be a very interesting stream because I'm actually going to answer some questions for people for once instead of becoming and staying a selfish motherfucker. We're going to dedicate this stream to you guys actually, where it's probably going to be, I'm guessing, between 45 minutes to 1 hour long. We're going to, first of all, take a look at how Bitcoin is currently trending, how the altcoin market is currently trending, and we're going to talk about my thoughts and my positions and my profits and some of the things that we've all been going through in crypto, because the ultimate goal is honestly just to make a shit ton of money in crypto. Like, personally speaking, on behalf of myself and many people, I don't really care about how Bitcoin is gonna be, a world store of value that's competing against gold. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about how Ethereum is becoming, so important. dApps are being built on it. Like, honestly, I don't care about the utility of crypto at all. I don't care about what crypto is in general. I don't care about blockchains. The only thing that I give a shit about is extracting a few more $1 million from the market. I just want to make money in this market. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to help out the people that I love. I want to be able to give my family a very beautiful life. I want to be able to explore and enjoy this world for what it's meant for, to see all of the beauties around it, to be able to go to nice restaurants, stay in nice hotels, fly business or even through jet, to be able to just not have to worry about everyday, day-to-day things, not have to worry about the burdens of modern day society, to not have to go through that rat race of working a 9-to-5 job. And then by the time you're 65 years old, you still have a mortgage payment. And I'm talking about my parents, for example. Like 10 years ago, when I first got into crypto, my dad was 65 years old and he needed to work for another 10 years to pay off his mortgage. He would have been working till he was 75 years old if it weren't for me and getting into crypto and then retiring them and then paying off their mortgage. So as much as I would like to care about how crypto does in general and the utility of it and how it's going to impact the world, I'm doing this from a very selfish perspective, but in a way, I'm sure that most of us are doing this from a very selfish perspective as well, where we just want to extract maximum profit so we can take care of the ones that we love, so we can pursue the hobbies and the interests that life is really intended for. I'm not going to be someone like Elon Musk that's going to change the world, right? I just want to live a life full of love, full of laughter, full of peace, full of fun. And at the end of my days, I just want to be able to say everyone that I know in my life is taken care of, and I've lived life to the best that I possibly can. And that's probably the truth. Like, I'm just being super honest, right, guys? So thank you very much for tuning in. For those that don't know me, my name is Philakone Crypto, probably the biggest degenerate day trader in crypto. And been in the bull market for 9 years now, guys. 3 bull markets, 3 bear markets, and I just want to see you guys reach the same type of passion and success that I've seen other people reach as well. And that's very important to me. That's why I'm going to dedicate this time to you guys today to have your questions answered and make sure that we tackle some of the coins that you guys are wondering about, like what's my coin doing? When's there a time to buy? Right? So the first thing that we're going to do to start off this live stream is to give a toast, okay? This is whiskey and Coca-Cola mixed for the drink that I'll have during this live stream. I would like to toast, first of all, Donald Trump for winning the election and starting the official bull market that has made people a tremendous amount of money. And secondly, I would like to toast crypto for changing the majority of our lives. And thirdly, I would like to toast the bull market and the altcoin season that has yet to come. So cheers, everybody. Raise your glass. Let's have a fucking drink to the crypto market. Woo! That felt good, guys. And I just want you guys to know that I am very healthy, okay? But I'm gonna vape through the whole fucking live stream. So the first thing that you guys are probably wondering is, am I in any day trading positions? Okay. Yes, I'm going to talk about my positions with you guys very, very transparently. So this is my Discord group. I have this elite tier Discord group where I literally call like 90% of my trades. And I think I'm the only person in crypto that actually does that. And here is the results. So in 30 days of trading, I'm up $332,000 with a trading volume of about 44 million. So my portfolio right now is valued at about $7 million. I built the portfolio from when it was about, I think, 2.4 million. That was the entire profit that I made from the previous bull market. And I basically just waited about 1 year, about 400 days. And then I ended up, growing at a substantial amount. So this is my current portfolio right now. It's down about $602,000 today. I carry a very large portion of coins like Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin and Ethereum actually ends up accounting for 50% of my portfolio, but the shift of Bitcoin will be moved to Ethereum very soon. And this is going to be shifted around very heavily this week during this particular dip. So I will be getting rid of a lot of coins. For example, like I wish I carried more Link, but I will be getting rid of coins like FET and TIA because I just don't believe that they have a massive potential this bull run compared to other coins. I'll be buying more coins like Superverse. You can see some of my largest holdings is going to be Solana and Render, but I will also be getting rid of Tau very soon to putting more money into Superverse. I've held Bitcoin since about $24,500. I bought 30 Bitcoins in one go. So that's up about $2 million right now. So today was a very large dip for me. I honestly cried a little bit, but it's all right because I put in about 2-3 million. So I'm expecting this portfolio to hit something around maybe $10 million. Okay, so this is looking pretty, well, not 10, sorry, maybe like 12 on a bad day. But realistically, if I were to keep Bitcoin as a majority holding, it would probably get a little bit over 10 million. That's it. So my plans is to actually shed about 1.5 million of Bitcoin and start shifting it into coins specifically like Ethereum, Solana, and Render, Superverse, and especially Polkadot. It's funny that I've been holding Polkadot since 5.4, okay, 5.4, and I've only made $96,000. I've actually made almost as much day trading Polkadot in the past 1 month, okay? So overall, that's the portfolio, and this here is the day trading in day to day. So I extract profits in 3 ways from the market. The first way is my long-term portfolio that you saw, and the second way is going to be day trading, and the third way, but the day trading is actually only shorting. Okay, I don't long in my day trading positions. I only short the market. And the third way would be to long a swing position that's a little bit longer than normal, maybe about a week or 2. So here are some of my biggest trades that I've taken this month so far. I took Ethereum for 14K. I took Beam for 9K, and the rest are big. I'm going to go through the rest. And then I took in RSR for 17K, TIA for 28,000, Manta for 9, Polygon 15, Super 12,000, Render 25,000. So the profits are huge, like Cake 14K. I've also taken some huge losses too, but the wins offset it. Peanut was so good to trade, 26K, Ethereum 14K, Beam. Okay, you guys saw those already. And then some of the big ones are, for example, XLM 36K, and then Polkadot at $89,000. And this is all in just a few days, right? So let's talk about some of the positions that I'm in right now and the reasoning for the position. So yes, I'm down everything in my position, but what you're going to notice is that these positions right here, so I keep about $500,000 on my Binance account. I don't ever really keep more than that. I don't need to. So I grew a substantial amount of money recently. I grew like 100,000 to like almost, like $600,000. I've been taking money in and out. And then, so these positions add up to exactly $550,000. And these are, even though they say 2x, this is actually like basically a 1x leverage. And the reason why there's no liquidation price, as you've noticed, is because it's incredibly important to maintain your risk in a bull market. Many people, you guys are going to get tons of advice throughout this live stream. So, take it for how you wish. I'm not saying I know more than you or less than you, but I definitely have a lot of experience. And the point of this stream is to make sure that you guys learn something and take something away from it. And I hope that it can contribute to your bull market experience. And this is not like a live stream to, talk about sales or advertising or anything like that, okay? I'm going to keep it strictly only crypto in every way. But since we're on that topic, I may as well talk about it, okay? Since we're on that topic of not advertising, I want you guys to know that my elite tier Discord group, it's actually going to extend till the end of December, so the end of the year to join it. And then I decided that in 2025, I'm not going to let anybody into my elite tier private Discord trading group anymore, because I'm going to create like a limited window for people to get in. Because after the bull market really kicks off for altcoin seasons, it's going to pick up so much. The elite group is going to be so busy. This is my elite tier Discord group, right, guys? I'm basically posting all of every single trade I take, I post, okay? Everybody would agree with me that every single trade that I take, that I profit from, I post. I post my losses, I post my wins. I'm so transparent. So this elite group is probably the best place you want to be. The return on investment is going to be so high because you're trading with like a top 1% trader in the world. So guys, take a look at the link below. December is your last chance to join. And then just watch. In January, I'm never going to open up my elite group again. So make sure you guys are looking at that, okay? So the reasoning for my trade is because the total 3 and 2 market cap ended up dropping a significant amount already. And I was waiting for this 10 to 20% dip to buy more. And I'm going to go into so many different metrics that is going to blow your mind. But first of all, to answer some of the questions that you're probably all having, is the bull market over? No, the bull market is literally far from over. There's going to be a tremendous amount of accumulation for altcoins. But what I do believe is that the limitation for Bitcoin is there. So Bitcoin's very limited because if you think about the ROI, maybe it'll get to 150, maybe it'll get to $200,000. So I just don't see myself keeping my capital in Bitcoin because there's much higher potential to put your crypto into something else, right? That makes a little bit of sense. So because of that, I will be selling a tremendous amount of Bitcoin. And the reason, if you've noticed, I have literally no Bitcoin holding in my swing position is because I just don't believe that Bitcoin's gonna create a massive ROI potential compared to other coins. So these are my short-term holdings that I'm down right now. If you take a look, right, I'm actually down about, I'm down $11,000, which is fine. That's like down 2% on a $500,000 position, right? But usually I do such a good job of dollar cost averaging on dips that I always end up in profit for every single coin. So let's close Binance and talk about the reasoning behind this particular buy of mine and also many of my friends as well. So we see that there are many key resistances, okay? The key resistances that we see is mainly based off of not only the coin itself, but also on the total 2 and total 3 market cap. So the total 2 is very important, and so is the total 3. The total 2 refers to the market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin. Total 3 refers to total 3 market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what you're going to notice is that the total 2 market cap, which is the market cap of Ethereum and all of altcoins, they ended up reaching a high already, the 2021 high. So it's only natural that once you get into these types of resistances that something's going to happen, and the market is usually going to reject it the first try. It's going to be very rare for us to break well above the total 2 or 3 market cap on the first try. So you can see that the total 3 market cap, for example, which is the market cap of all of crypto except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, it actually reached 1.13 trillion. So not only is the total 3 market cap at the all-time high, but the total 2 market cap is also at the all-time high, okay? The only market cap that's broken above everything is the total 1, which is the entire market cap of crypto. So this is basically referring to all of the crypto market cap, which was at $3 trillion, and we've surpassed it. So the bad news is that, don't worry guys, I'm gonna get to a lot of your questions very soon. But first of all, we need to understand how the market is trending, okay? So just hang tight, and I'm gonna get to your questions about XRP, about TIA. You guys are welcome to just blast the chat. I'm here at your disposal tonight, okay? So if you think about my profit, okay? If you think about the profit that I made, I just want to make a funny observation. If you think about the profit that I made in, like, you know, 332,000 just from day trading, if you just do the math, right? There's 8 days times 20. So you're working 160 hours a month. 332 divided by 160. So I'm making $2,075 an hour, which I'm basically dedicating to you guys as well. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do a giveaway at the end of this live stream too for a pretty good amount. So if you make it to the end of this live stream, you're also gonna get a chance to win a giveaway. You never know. The giveaway could be $10. It could be $50. It could be a dick pic. It could be me pinching my nipples and sending you a private video. It could be $500. You never know. But if you stick to the end, you might get in on it, okay? So total crypto market cap, I want to be clear that it's very possible for us to retest this particular structure. And this structure would be very scary, okay? But first of all, let's get into Bitcoin, see how the fuck it's trending right now, and see if we can make good use of anything. So one of the main EMAs, so the blue line is the 20 EMA, the yellow line is the 50 EMA, and the white line is the 200 EMA, okay? So blue 20, 50, 200, okay? So what you can see is that the blue line, on a daily, right, the bull market is actually being supported by the 20 EMA for a pretty long time now. It slightly dips below it once in a while, and then it kind of continues upwards the majority of times, right? Sometimes in a major correction, you're going to see it kind of dip below the 200 EMA, but rarely for a long period of time. So if you actually look at the history of Bitcoin for a long period of time, what you're going to see on the daily is that, come on, let's go all the way back, okay? 2016. What you're going to see is that the best time to basically buy alts and also buy Bitcoin is between, like, every time it gets between these lines, between like the 50 and the 200, you better be buying, right? Every time it gets below there, you got to be buying. So if it dips below in these zones, that's exactly where you want to be buying, right? But it doesn't only mean you should be buying Bitcoin. It means you should be buying crypto, right? So you look at these zones, right, where it's below like the 20 and the 50 EMA. And if you keep buying during these dips on the daily, you eventually become extremely profitable, right? So it's not just like a short-term game. It's like a very long-time game that you need to be playing, right? To make the big profits, you have to be able to ride it and catch it on these dips. But more importantly, you've got to be able to withstand that storm and that volatility. Otherwise, you're going to get shaken out. So I basically showed you for 2017 when you should have been buying. Even if you were to buy when it fell below there and it fell below there, there's going to be a lot of pain. But eventually, you end up becoming in profit over time. So this is a very simple strategy to become extremely profitable, right? But then you also buy over here as well. And here, if you were to buy, you would have got stopped out. But there were many metrics to show us that the bull market was already overextended. So if you take a look at this current bull market, you're seeing kind of the same thing, right? You're buying in these ranges every single time. But what I'm getting to you guys is that right now, yes, we are actually extended above the 20 EMA, but I need to be very clear that the 50 EMA is at $87,000. And I have been calling $87,000 for a while. Now, Does it mean that it's actually going to get there? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? But don't discount the possibility that we're not going to have a major drop to hit the $87,000. I'm not trying to add emotions into this. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just being realistic based off of everything that I've shown you before. But right now, the way that Bitcoin is trending is actually very bullish, okay? This trend line over here has been holding for a very long period of time now. Not only that, we created some very beautiful candles that ended up closing well. So would you guys agree with me that that's a very beautiful bullish pattern right now? It ends up making these higher lows every time, right? So every time, like this is just the wick, but I still consider that a higher low. And now it's actually at this particular region again. Not only that, if you look at the 4-hour candle, this 4-hour candle that printed when the wick came down, and then this ended up going upwards, that was the major reason why I decided to enter these positions. Do you guys see? I'm in major profit right now. You guys see that major profit? I'm up negative $17,000. That's right. If you guys want to learn how to trade, this is why you follow me. I teach you how to be down $18,000 by longing at the top, okay? That's how you fucking do it. But the truth is, like, this is only 3% of a swing. I can't even get liquidated. I have a lot more capital that I can infuse. So because I'm aware of the fact that Bitcoin could actually dip to $87,000, that's why I'm in a 1x leverage position, and the positions don't even equal what I carry on Binance right now. Not only that, I have about $1 million more, or $1.5 million more in Bitcoin that I could liquidate to get into better positions, okay? So this is why I'm in a long position. Makes sense? I'm in a long position because many coins ended up reaching these ridiculous support zones that ended up holding, okay? You see that, for example, on Polkadot, you see that Polkadot has this white line. This white line right here is like a 3-year resistance almost, or not 3-year, but since September 2022. Okay, so it's been a long time. So because Polkadot broke above it, I expected it to bounce very heavily. That's also one of the reasons why I'm up a tremendous amount on Polkadot, because I've been longing that guy quite a bit. Okay, so Bitcoin, guys, I think that it's very indecisive right now. But the main thing to look out for is to see if this could break to the downside on this particular pattern. So let's do like an EMA analysis on the weekly chart. We can see that like it's very like you guys understand how a bull market looks, right? On a daily. Like this is how it basically looks on a daily chart when you look at an EMA, okay? When you look at EMA, what you see is you start to see the EMAs diverge from each other and it splits. So the gap between the EMA starts to increase, right? The gap gets bigger and bigger. This is how you define a parabolic move up, right? So as the gaps get bigger and bigger, then it means that we're going more and more parabolic. But sometimes eventually these gaps, they end up slowing down, and then it causes a massive trend reversal. For example, right here, this caused a trend reversal signal, but instead of going down, we broke back up and many people ended up longing right on the breakup. So what people do is they look for this type of crossover where the 200 EMA ends up supporting at the bottom instead, and then you observe to see how it's looking on the white line, the 200 EMA. If it ends up supporting and bouncing, that's a very good long signal, okay? And other than that, guys, once again, I don't know where the dip is gonna get to, but what I do know is that because the total 3 market cap ended up dropping a substantial amount, right? We see these types of drops, like 17%, it's dropped already. It signals to me that it's a good time to get into the market. If we actually take a look at the total crypto market cap from way back, let's say we go to, for example, in 2017, what we see is that there have been periods where we've seen like a 33% drop in the total 3 market cap. So here is a 30% drop, right? And we see some days right here, right? This one here, I don't know if that's a drop. Yeah, it is. Next one is a 50% drop in the market cap on April, right? So some days, this one here is a 21%. So this one here is 48%, right? So you see that there's been many periods where the market cap has dropped. Here's 57%. It's tremendously. So, but if you zoom out, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you zoom out, you just basically see the total two market cap go up like 10,700%. But the point of this to show you is that you got to really understand that the only way to tremendously profit in this bull market is to be able to withstand this type of volatility, and then you combine it as well with being able to identify a potential top. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is basically holding it too long. Okay, you're in profit, you're greedy, you think it's going to get to like a certain number, right? So you end up just holding your positions longer and longer, and you actually never end up taking any profits. In fact, all of your profits are wiped out because you surpassed the point of the bull market ending, and you're now riding your profits into a loss during the bear market. And then now all of a sudden you literally made a complete 360-degree round trip where you never took any profit. So it's very important to understand that concept, and I'm sure that many of you guys have been there before. So because of that, it's so important to take profits at key interval levels where Bitcoin is reaching a peak, or when altcoin seasons are too overly extended and the greed is too high and the historical risk levels are also too high. So now I'm down $22,000, but it's not a problem for me. Like, these swings to me might seem big to some other people, might seem small to other people, but to me it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. You know, like I'm running close to 10 figures now, so it's a very small loss for me. That's not even a loss yet, and I'm ready to DCA further. So if you take a look at 2021, you'll see the same type of things where it's basically 28% of a drop, right? 30% drops. So if you take a look at like the market cap now, I mean, it's nothing compared to what we've seen in the past before. Okay, we've seen in the past before much bigger drops. Today was only 17%, and I don't know if this drop is going to continue further or not. It's really going to depend on how Bitcoin ends up holding. But keep in mind that Bitcoin did have a substantial rally already. So because of that, you know, there could be a massive correction that can come. But the dip is necessary to continue further in the bull market. And unfortunately, many newer investors and day traders have a really difficult time understanding that concept of how we need to take a massive like liquidation event and a massive sell-off, because people do and will take profits. And when this happens, it kind of resets the cycle. Many coins right now are actually in a gigantic correction. You can see that. Let's take a look at coins like Polkadot, for example. That's one of my favorites. These coins, I'm fucking tired right now, guys. I'm using my under the desk elliptical. I probably burned like 100 calories already during this live stream, just like pedaling my ass away because I used to be too fat, you know? So you see that they've all made 5 waves. You take a look at a coin, you know, like, what else here? Take a look at a coin like HBAR, right? They all corrected already, okay? And then you see that coins like XLM, right? They've all made 5 waves already, okay? So I'm just gonna go over some of the questions. What do I think of Bitcoin on the daily RSI, right? Bitcoin on the daily RSI, it's losing strength. It's been losing strength for a while now. But the thing about, like, for example, even though the momentum oscillators like MACD started to cross over, let's just say that you shorted the market right here just because it crossed over, right? You would have been wrecked, right? You would have been wrecked on the first day, because the next one ended up just basically bouncing. So even though some indicators, right, like RSI is losing strength, like here's a lower high, here's also a lower high as well, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're just gonna end up dropping, right? It could just mean that we are still gonna slowly go up, but we can eventually drop. That's basically all that RSI will tell you. It means that the price is getting higher, but other indicators like RSI or MACD or even volume are starting to decline. So because of that, like RSI is a good indicator to use, but it's not necessarily going to be the main indicator to be using, right? So now just to summarize, you guys know where I stand with Bitcoin. It's really gonna depend on this pattern right here. If this pattern ends up breaking and also the 20 EMA ends up breaking on the daily, we're gonna 100% hit $87,000. That is why my long positions right now, it's not really in a big position at all. Eventually, my swing long positions on Binance will reach like 1 million or 2, but I've got to wait for a little bit more conviction. Just because we saw like a fairly good candle happen on the 4-hour, it doesn't mean I'm gonna go all in into the market yet. Cheers, guys! I'm having another drink. Okay, so you guys understand where I stand with Bitcoin. Yes, if we hold, we're probably gonna get to $110,000 this year. But if we drop, 87K guaranteed. So what are some of the biggest coins that I'm gonna be betting on? It's gonna be Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, I believe, will have a very huge chance to break above this high on March of 2024. And now we have a triple top here. I'm really wanting Ethereum to hold above this particular region over here, basically above 35K, which I ended up calling. And the other big hitters are mine are going to be Polkadot as well. I'm a very big fan of Polkadot and what they stand for. They have the third most amount of developers on the market. I really like them. I think that Polkadot, even to the all-time high, for example, you know, we're talking like 500-600% that it can get up to. I think that utility tokens like Cardano and also XLM have a massive potential as well. And I think that these coins are going to be worth holding in your portfolio, right? A lot of coins end up correcting about the 50% Fibonacci levels already, and the first wave is only beginning. So it's very simple the way Elliott wave theory works, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And right now, this is where we are in the cycle. All coins, all altcoins, every single altcoin, okay, this is now done. This first wave, it happened after Trump got elected, right? November the 6th is when it happened. We're now in the process of correcting into the third phase, or the second wave, sorry. And we're going to eventually consolidate, and then the third wave will break out. The third wave will be identified basically when the first wave high begins on the majority of coins. When the first high is broken right over here. And now that hasn't happened yet. And just to give you some proof in the pudding, on a lower time frame, you can see, for example, that coins like Polkadot ended up reaching a fifth wave already, okay? You can see that XLM reached the fifth wave. You can see Theta reaching a fifth wave here as well. So a lot of these coins are all correcting, and I think that there's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunity for you guys to end up dollar cost averaging further. So I'm just going to take a look at the questions, but please know I can't answer every single one. Let's move on to take a look at some of the coins that are moving right now. And by the way, I ended up getting rid of some of my positions. So I just see somebody mentioning TIA. TIA, I'm not a big fan of TIA too much right now. The reason why I'm not a big fan of TIA is because it had one of the biggest, choppiest movements I've seen. Not only that, TIA is one of the coins that ended up dipping almost to the 786 Fibonacci level during the dip due to the amount of the correction that I see here of over 42% and about 7.86. It basically dipped 78.6% of the entire rally. It's now no longer in my day trading. As you guys can see, I don't carry any TIA here at all. Another coin that I got rid of is also going to be ARCM. I don't like ARCM anymore based off of how it looks because it ended up retracing well over 78.6. It almost made a 100% retracement. So from a technical perspective, it's not something that I'm ever gonna hold again. Okay, I don't like the way that it's moved. So what other, let's look at, you guys are probably wondering about XRP, right? So XRP here definitely made a fifth wave, but it made a very truncated type of fifth wave. It's actually barely retraced compared to other coins. If you take a look at, for example, Polkadot ended up retracing a healthy amount of about 50% so far. If you take a look at a coin like XLM retraced about 50% so far as well. If you take a look at a coin like Theta, it retraced about 50% so far. But XRP is actually one of the more resilient coins to correcting because it's actually only corrected about 38.2% so far. It's also staying like well above, you know, certain EMA ranges, right? If you take a look at Polkadot is below the 50 EMA, right? You take a look at H bar, for example, it's like getting, it almost got to the 50 EMA. But if you take a look at a coin like XRP, it has more room to go down, to be quite honest. Even though it's showing a little bit of resilience right now, right, it still has more room to go because it's lagging behind a lot of these other coins. So because of that, I'm not quite too into XRP yet. I think I carry XRP here, but only a small amount, only $20,000 in XRP, and I'm currently down 23,000 right now. So what other coins do you guys want to take a look at? I'm going to dedicate like another 30 minutes to just talking to you guys about the coins that you have, okay? Solana, that's a good question, okay? Let's take a look at Solana as well. That's a very important coin to be carrying. I believe that Solana is going to be a very heavy contender with Ethereum, but I'm going to drop you guys a gem, okay? So there's a coin called Peak, P-E-A-Q. And I was just talking to my girlfriend about this today, and my girlfriend was like, should I buy more Peak? I'm like, yeah, you should buy more Peak right now. So Peak is not updated properly in ranking, but they're a $409 million coin, okay? $409 million coin, and they were only, you know what, if you want to spam, I'm gonna mute your ass, man. Last warning, Candy, don't spam in the channel, please. We want to give everybody a fair chance so we can see what they're writing, all right? I'd appreciate that. This shows some respect. So Peak is it was only released November the 14th. And the good thing about Peak is, like, guys, they're one of the most, it's literally the most resilient coin that I have literally seen. So this is what happened during the drop, right? So the drop ended up happening, but Peak ended up basically creating another high. So it barely dropped last night, okay? It dropped 20%, and then it ended up moving upwards 50% on top of that. So Peak is a layer 1 alternative to Ethereum and Solana. And because it's not valued in the billions of dollars yet, it has a massive potential to do some major numbers. Their fundraising round raised about $400 million. So this is a coin that you guys should probably keep your eye on. Not only is it a great coin based off of fundamentals, it had a great fundraiser round. The team is amazing. The CEO is amazing if you do research. But technically, it was also one of the most resilient coins that we've seen to the Bitcoin and the altcoin market dropping, okay? So back to Solana. Solana is most likely going to eventually break that all-time high, okay? It's just a matter of time. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't break it. So Solana's all-time high. But the thing about Sol is it's lagging behind a lot of coins right now. It never did anything while Bitcoin ended up rallying to $105,000, right? So because it ended up reaching the all-time high before pretty much everything else did. So because of that, I still think there's a massive opportunity to get into Solana, right? So if you just think about the simple math behind if you got in like at $250 or $200. If you got in at $250 to $10,000, that's only like a 4x, right? It's literally like only a 4x or 300x, which is 4x. But if you got in where it's kind of close to now, right? Say it got to $200, right? That's, even though it's a 20% drop, instead of a 4x, it turns into a 5x. Also, Solana is reaching a major 2024, May 24 resistance, which is now turning into a support. So I think that Solana has a chance to hit basically $1,000. And I think that Ethereum, once it breaks this high, it's going to get to like $10,000, and it's going to fucking fly. Right now, during this 2 weeks or 3 weeks of December, it's going to be a little bit painful for everybody to get through it. So it's time to kind of nibble right now, not get too heavy into your positions. I'm down $27,000 right now. That's why I'm not in huge, because I'm just kind of like nibbling at the market to see how the market is sort of reacting right now. And then as we get more data coming in, we're going to be able to take a look at, like, should we be buying more? Should we be waiting a little bit more? Because the point of a bull market is not to go all in, right? It's to manage your risk, maybe leverage accordingly as well, and try to buy and time optimal buying zones and ranges so you can maximize your profits. Okay, I'll take a look at GRT. Okay, so GRT, actually, I'm going to take a look at the market cap first. Okay, I'm not going to look at any of your shit coins that's ranked like 1,000. I'm just saying. And I just want to make sure that it's worth your time and everybody's time. So GRT looks like every other coin, to be honest. It looks like every other coin that made like a 5-wave correction. There's nothing special about GRT. It retraced to between 0.5 and 618 Fibonacci level. It's on the same page as every single coin, either between the, somewhere near the 50 and the 200 EMA. So there's nothing special about GRT right now in any way. There are some things, and also it's very choppy. It didn't really make like the best structured moves. You want to focus on coins that are very clear, where it has a clear like impulse wave, a clear pattern that corrects. You want to focus on something that's identifiable like that. You want to focus on a coin that performed very well, right? Like for example, Polkadot. This is one of the most beautiful coins that you could actually take a look at. GRT, I didn't like that at all in any way. So I personally wouldn't touch that at all. Link. Let's take a look at Link. So I do carry Link in my main portfolio, but not a lot. I think just like $200,000. It's not that much. But Link made some pretty good waves, but I can't really make good, like I can't really see the wave structure too well. But Link is also one of the coins that's fairly resilient to a correction. The coins that are more resilient to a correction are usually going to be either lagging behind or they're going to do extremely well in a bull market. So Chainlink is a utility token, and it's going to do probably very, very extremely well in the next cycle. So it's got some massive potential, and I think that Chainlink is definitely a coin worth holding on to. And from the perspective of a daily chart, it's holding above the 20 EMA. So it's one of the more resilient coins, okay? Render. Preto asked about Render. One of my favorite coins. Okay, Render is one of those coins that ended up reaching like near a top. Okay, it reached the May 2024 top, but not quite the all-time high yet. Render ended up doing 185%, not the biggest gain compared to coins like Superverse, but Render is also going to provide you with some massive opportunities very soon. I think Nvidia ended up dropping recently too, right? Yeah, I think Nvidia dropped a little bit. Nope, Nvidia is still on a fucking tear. But the thing about Nvidia is that like they're due for a correction technically. They're due for a correction, man. And Nvidia and Render are synonymous with each other. So but you never know how it goes, right? You don't know. But right now, like Render is one of the more resilient coins as well, because ever since the elections won, like it's around the 0.5 Fibonacci. So everything is kind of looking to be in the same place as every single coin. It reached the top recently. It retraced down to 382. It's made like some coins have made like a 30, 40, 50% drop. So that's one of the reasons why it's important to start DCAing, in my opinion, rather than being scared. Because if you don't start DCAing small amounts now, what you're basically going to risk is how the bottom it could very well be in. And then you're going to risk buying back in at a much higher price point. So if you did something like that, not really the best, right? If you ended up buying at a massively higher price than if you were to take a risk now. If you think about the two risks, guys, like there's two risks. There's the risk of basically buying now, right? You buy now. There's risk that it could be a little bit more of a drop. Yeah, big fucking whoop did he do? Hold on to your fucking pants. Go pinch your nipples, you know, go take some gravel or whatever the fuck you need to do for your period and just hold it for another 10, 20%. Like there's so many metrics that are pointing towards a bull market season that's going to begin. Like just to show you guys how a bull market works for those people that watch too much fucking porn and you don't follow the market enough, okay? The Bitcoin dominance, okay, is so simple to understand. The Bitcoin dominance goes like this, okay? Every single time Bitcoin dominance drops, the bull market begins. That's it. So the bull market, this is when it drops. The bull market, the Bitcoin dominance, it drops every motherfucking like end of the year. Like, you know, at the beginning of the year in the bull market, that's where the Bitcoin dominance drops, right? Here's where it drops. Let me put two charts on for you guys. So one's Bitcoin dominance, one's total 2 market cap, okay? Let's just look at this. Okay, so here is where the Bitcoin dominance drops. Look, right, I can't even see this. What the fuck? Hold on, let me sync this. Interval, symbol. Okay. Okay, right here. You guys see, you can look, doesn't matter where you look. You can look on the left or the right. So if you see here, the Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, but look on the right screen. On the right screen right there, that's where the market cap starts to go parabolic for altcoins. Bitcoin dominance drops, altcoins go parabolic. See that? You guys see that correlation? Right? Bitcoin dominance drops. And then we see as the Bitcoin dominance drops further and further, altcoin season goes parabolic, right? That's literally how it works. And then you take a look at the same thing in 2021, right? This is what happens. In 2021, in exactly the same time too. At the beginning of the year of the bull market, the Bitcoin dominance drops, and then look what happens, right? Look what happens. The altcoin total market cap skyrockets. Bitcoin dominance bottoms up, and then it just goes up again. So how the fuck is that any different? Right? Bitcoin dominance is dropping near the end of the year, and then now the total market cap will eventually start to spike up. So there's so many signs right now of how institutions and retail investors are shifting their Bitcoin realized profits into Ethereum very soon and into altcoins as well. So it's not the time to be scared. And I need to really firmly remind you that the people that are scared are never going to make those millions or tens of millions. Understanding how this market cycle works, that's what's truly going to do it for you guys. So let's take a look at some more coins. I want to take a look at whatever you guys are looking at. Is my mic broken? No, what's wrong with my mic? I just have like a really big ass room. You know, like I have a big fucking room, and like, you know, it's not like quite decorated. You know, like my room is gigantic. You know, oh, check that out. Do you guys see who the fuck that is? Do you guys see that? Right there. That's a fucking bear behind me. Fuck the bears. Fuck the bears. Sorry about that, guys. I get a little bit worked up whenever I see a bear, right? But you guys see the bull? You guys see the bull behind me, huh? You guys see the fucking bull? I'm gonna show my titties. Sometimes you just gotta give the bulls a little bit of love, you know? I was doing a dance today with my lady. I was doing a dance, and we were like doing a rain dance, you know? We were We were like dancing, like, yeah, lift the market up. We're like grabbing the ground, just lifting the market up. We're like, let's go, bulls. And we're like, my girlfriend's like flashing her fucking titties to the bull, like, ah, ah. We're like just trying to get the bull super happy, you know? And then the weird part was that the painting of the bull, it actually smiled for a second, you know? So, fuck, man, let's go. Let's take a look at some more coins. Johnny Boy, where am I buying Peak? I'm buying Peak fucking right now, man. Injective is a good coin. Like, Injective is a great DeFi coin. Like, it needs to be respected. You know, it needs to be bought. Like, you gotta buy fucking Injective. Like, why would you not buy Injective? It's such a good coin. So, I like it a lot. Like, it did a pretty good rally, 100%. You know, it broke a major resistance. It didn't really correct that much. I think it's got potential. I don't like the choppiness too much. That's why I don't have a lot of Injective. Like, I don't carry a lot in my main portfolio. I bought like $20,000 of Injective. Hey, check that out, guys. Look how much I'm down right now. You guys see how much I'm down? I'm fucking down. I'm down $30,000. There's no giveaway anymore. There's no more giveaway because I'm down too much. FTM and Phantom's a good coin. I don't carry any of it. Like, the reason I don't carry Phantom is because, like, okay, this is why. You can only carry so many billion-dollar market cap coins, right? Like, you can only carry so many. Phantom is a multi-billion-dollar coin. I don't want to be investing in only multi-billion-dollar coins. I want to buy some of the coins like Superverse. I want to buy some of the coins like Peak or Aether, right? I want to go for some coins that have a chance to actually do like 5x. Like, Phantom doing 5x in a bull market going to $15 billion. You know how fucking hard it is to get above $15 billion? That's fucking hard, man. Like, if you take a look at the market cap coins for all of them, like, there's only like 17 coins that are above $10 billion. So it's better to like focus sometimes on coins that have a lower market cap, right? But of course, Polkadot, where's Polkadot? Polkadot, I love Polkadot, guys, I'm telling you, okay? So Gala, fuck Gala, man. Like, fuck Gala games. Like, sure, the tokenomics is really good on Gala games, but like Gala, like, why would you want to buy Gala when you could buy a coin like Superverse or IMX or Beam? You know what I mean? Like, Gala is a 2021 coin that's a fucking dinosaur. You know, it didn't really, oh, never mind, stand correctly, it did a lot. But like, I don't like Gala at all anymore, okay? It didn't even come close to reaching the all-time high. You know what I mean? In March. You got to compare that. You got to compare it to some coins. Like, for example, Solana, okay? Solana not only broke the March high when Bitcoin first got to 70 whatever $1,000, 74K, right? Solana like breaks above the actual high this year, right? Polkadot does a massive amount and it double tops this all-time high. Some coins like Superverse smashes the all-time high. And then you look at a coin like like Gala that didn't even get, like, that got to literally like the golden ratio of this year's all-time high. So that is the definition of a severely underperforming coin. So why would you even give a shit about Gala? Like, when you could put your money into something else that can literally be a lot better, right? So Beam is a great coin, okay? Beam, even though it didn't get up to this high right here, it's struggling. It rebranded. It was formerly known as Merit Circle, but it still did a pretty good amount, right? 270%. And the thing about Beam is it's not correcting, guys. It's like the most resilient motherfucker I've seen, like XRP as well. It only got to the 382 Fibonacci, right? So what's CRV? I don't hold any of that. Oh yeah, CRV, I know. I have never bought CRV or looked at it before. So CRV, wow, that was wild. Like, that's wild, CRV. Holy shit me. Oh yeah, I remember trading this coin. I made some money on it. Not a lot though. was too scared to trade this coin. I mean, this coin's wild. This coin's fucking absolutely wild. Not only did it smash the all-time high of March 14, but it got to like major resistance points. But the thing about, even though CRV did well right now, you got to understand as well that it's a shift, right? It's always a shift in the cycle. So even though some coins are performing very well in one period of time, it doesn't always mean that it's going to perform extremely well the next leg up, right? So CRV is a good coin, right? We traced a reasonable amount, like 382 Fibonacci. It did some monster numbers, but there's just no guarantee of it performing very well. Based off of EMAs, it's like right around the 20 EMA. It's probably going to get back down, honestly, just the way it's looking to the 50 EMA, right? People assume just because the last market cycle behaved in certain behavior, this one is sure to be the same. Yeah, you know what though? Like Nebula, I agree with that, right? I agree with that entirely. But at the same time, right, there's no reason to not believe that the bull market could be similar, because this bull market season so far has been very similar to many of the different years before, right? The cycles are being the same. It's still alternating in a 4-year cycle, right? So there's just not much to argue against the fact that why would it not be different, right? So for me right now, I would love to think the contrary and the unpopular opinion of how this bull market is going to be very different. But how could I when everything is leading up to the same pace? I mean, just to show you guys how the risk bubble is looking as well. So the risk bubble is basically, Enric, I love IOTA. That coin, I made like $700,000 on IOTA. $700,000 in 2017. That coin, I shit you not, I still go to bed and I still fucking masturbate to that coin like daily, hourly, minutely. That coin brings back a lot of memories. I love IOTA. So you look at the short-term risk bubble and you see that like 2013's bull market, the risk bubble reached the bright red colors and then we tanked. 2017, 4 years later, we got to a bright red color and then it tanked. 2021, we got to a big bright red color and then we tanked, right? So 2025, we're still like super low in the cycle and it's only beginning. So I got no reason, Nebulo, to believe that the bull market could be very different. Not only that, if you take a look at the ROI after halving as well, what you're going to see is that we're in the baby phases. The baby phases. But did you guys notice that on the 240th day roughly, a correction occurs, right? Take a look. Right around here, not the first cycle, but the second and the third in 2017 and in 2021, when we reach 240 days, a major dip occurs. And guess what? Right now, we're on 234 days. So there's still a possibility in like a week, right? That's going to happen. Didn't I talk about GRT already? Or is that CRV? Man, that was a big ass dip on GRT. That's a big, I talked about that already. I talked about GRT already, about how it's a shitty moving coin that's not clearly defined at the beginning. Let's talk about comp. Okay, comp. Well, that's a good question. Jake asked a good question. Yo, when is the market going to stop dropping? And to answer that honestly, it's like, we don't know. I gave an example earlier of how total 3 market cap ends up dropping like even 30% at a given period before the market resumes, right? So it's not just about a matter of guessing when the market is going to stop dropping. It's a matter of understanding that in the grand scheme of things for the total 2, total 3 market cap, even though there's substantial drops along the way, if you zoom out to a bigger picture, they're irrelevant, right? These 30% drops are not even noticeable, or 50% drop on a big picture. So even though we don't know when the market is going to finish dropping, it's our responsibility to understand that the market is continuing to the upside. So because the market's continuing to the upside, because it's only a wave 2 dip right now, the accumulation needs to be heavily understood so we can try to buy more on these dips to prepare ourselves to be in a good position for when the bull run ends up continuing, right? Jami asks, is Render connected to NVIDIA? No, they're not connected to NVIDIA, but what Render is they basically provide GPU processing power, right? They have these massive facilities with hundreds and thousands of video cards where they lend out their processing power to corporations that are mainly geared towards requiring processing power or AI related. So even though NVIDIA and Render are not directly connected, they're indirectly connected because Render is a video card processing power lending provider. So because of that, the success of NVIDIA is very dependent, or sorry, the success of Render is also tied to how well NVIDIA does as well. So if, for example, NVIDIA sells a lot more video cards, it's usually not to the consumer base, like you and I, having a computer at home that powers things, right? It's usually geared towards the processing providing landscape. So yes, Render is very dependent on NVIDIA in a way. AVAX, okay, AVAX did some great numbers, but they're not talked about as much as, they're not trending, put it that way, okay? I wish they were trending, but they're not really trending a substantial amount right now. But they're like kind of on pace with every other coin right now that ended up moving already, right? Every other coin moved like 100, 200%. Every other coin is also correcting right now. So you just got to put these coins into these categories. The categories of all the coins doing the very first wave, right? They've done their first wave, right? This is basically the first wave. And now they're in a second wave correction. And the third wave is going to break into some monster numbers, right? So that's our goal. Our goal is to try to catch a dip, DCA, and then trade this third wave that's going to lead to some monster profits. So that's the ultimate goal, okay? Do I use the old EMA strategy that I taught before? Isaiah asked a good question, and the answer is sometimes, right? I've expanded my strategy so much that I use EMA as a baseline for how the general trend is going, and also just to see like how long have I been streaming for? Oh, okay. I'm gonna end the stream soon, just because it's about 7 p.m. and it's been about 1 hour. And my lady is very hungry, and you know what? Her hunger is my responsibility. So we gotta try to catch the next one. So if you think about, like, if we zoomed out, okay, if I zoomed in, this is a big amount, right? This is a big difference. Like for example, on AVAX, if you were to buy between now and the 786, so between now and a 15% drop, as an example, if you actually zoomed out on the grand scheme of things, right? And then let's just say wave 3 made a gigantic high. Do you think it would really matter if you buy like, now a little bit or 15% lower? Nah, it's not going to really matter much, right? Like if you look at like Ethereum, like on some time frames, right? Would it really matter if you were to buy like, like on a dip, if you were to buy here at 1800 or here at 1500, now that we're at 4K? No, probably not, right? Probably not. So I'm going to end the live stream, guys. I'm actually going to have a lot more of these live streams because I want to provide some value to people and not just be the degenerate day trader that I am always. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, right? I hope you enjoyed it. And guys, make sure to remember that my elite tier trading group, I'm going to close it permanently so nobody can join ever again in 2025. Okay, come join me if you guys want to see how I'm making, like, in a bull market. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but I know myself, man. I'm probably going to end up making about $500,000 to $1 million a month, right? And I'm going to call everything in my elite tier private trading group. So I'm going to allow signups to go on till the end of December. And then once December ends, that's it. Nobody's going to be able to join again in 2025. And you guys are going to be all wishing that you did. But actually, if I did let people join next year, because the bull market's here and the market's going crazy, the price will probably go up like crazy. So join me, guys, for the 60% off sale to get my course, to get into the elite private trading group of mine for 6 months, and to get my advanced volatility indicator as well. So other than that, guys, have a great night. I want to thank you for your time. If you think that I did an okay job, just all you got to do to support me is just hit the like button hit the thumbs up button, and that's it. Hit the notifications button, and send me some dick pics, and we're good, guys. We're good, and that's it. Other than that, have a good night, guys. Thank you very much